Na kupokea moja kwa moja kutoka makao makuu ya idara ya upelelezi DCI, ambapo baada ya kuwa ndani kwa takriban saa 7 akihojiwa kuhusiana na madai mbalimbali ya kuvunja sheria, aliyekuwa waziri wa usalama wa ndani Fred Matiang'i sasa yu huru, amewachiliwa. Na sasa nataka nikuonyeshe picha za moja kwa moja kutoka hapa nje ya makao makuu ya DCI. Ukiangalia ni furaha ya wafuasi wake aliyekuwa waziri wa usalama wa ndani Daktari Fred Matiang'i anapotoka nje. Manake nikimwangalia tu takriban mita 10 hivi kutoka hapa nilipo ndipo alipo, akiwa amezingirwa na kikosi kizima cha wale mawakili aliokuwa nao, na vile vile tu wanasiasa mbalimbali wa upinzani waliokuwa hapa. Na muda wote kutoka sasa tu tutakuwa tukizungumza naye Matiang'i endapo ataruhusiwa kuzungumza nasi, haswa na wale mawakili wake, na pia labda tu wale viongozi wengine, kujua ni kipi haswa watakachokuwa kisema na ni furaha gani walionayo kwa sasa. Matiang'i ameweza kuachiliwa huru. Na nikizidi tu kuchorea taswira ya jinsi siku ilivyokuwa, Matiang'i alifika hapa mwendo wa saa 3 asubuhi, na kiini kikubwa kilikuwa kuandikisha ripoti kuhusiana na madai ya kudanganyana kwamba maafisa wa polisi walifika kwake usiku wa tarehe 8 Februari kufanya uchunguzi wa walichokuwa wakitafuta. Na hilo ndilo limewafanya maafisa wa polisi na haswa kutoka hapa DCI kutaka kumfanyia mahojiano, na akaja. Na kuanzia wakati huo tumeona visa na visanga mbalimbali. Tulimuona kinara wa Azimio Raila Odinga akiwasili hapa, na kama unavyoona tu ni viongozi mbalimbali wanaokaribia hapa kuweza kuzungumza nasi. Lakini nikirejelea tu, tulimuona kinara wa upinzani Raila Odinga akiwasili hapa, akazuiwa kuingia, akisema kwamba hiyo ilikuwa kinyume na sheria kwake kuzuiwa kufika hapa. Na hivyo basi ukiangalia tu utaona si wengine bali ni wale viongozi waliokuwa na Matiang'i hapa. Huyo ni mbunge wa Rarieda, na huyo haswa ndiye aliyekuwa waziri wa usalama wa ndani Dr. Fred Matiang'i. Na unaona tu akiweza kuwaleta wale wanasiasa na wale mawakili aliokuwa nao hapa kuzungumza nasi, na ni furaha tu unayoona tu nyusoni za wale wote waliokuwa hapa. Na hivyo basi ni vema tusikie ni yepi yanayojiri hapa wakati huu, na Matiang'i ana yepi ya kusema kuhusiana na yaliyokuwa yakitukia hapa leo. Kwa hivyo basi moja kwa moja tutakuwa tukisikiza Matiang'i ana yepi ya kusema. Tunamuona akiweza kuwatuliza wale wafuasi walio hapa, na hivyo basi hebu tusikie moja kwa moja kwa wale maswali tulionayo kwake.
Kindly let's take control. Guys, let's take control. Okay. Are we okay? Guys, order. Tuko sawa?
1 minute. Sama live.
Hey, please. Tafadhalini. Haya. Are you set?
Yeah, we're set.
Okay, slide. That's it.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, are you ready?
Naam.
Okay, members of the media, members of the media, first I'm wearing 2 hats. I'm speaking as a senator for Nyamira, where CS Matiang'i comes from, and I'm also speaking as a senior counsel who was leading the team of lawyers together with my colleague, senior counsel Otiende Amolo. So first I want to assure Kenyans and watu wetu kule nyumbani, the Homogusi Nation, that after staying in this building, DCI headquarters, for the last 9 hours, the son of Homogusi, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, is a free man with us here. We brought him here to demonstrate to Kenyans that Dr. Fred Matiang'i is a law-abiding citizen. We came here in response to summons that were issued under Section 23 of the Cyber Crimes Act, and we arrived here at 8. We were kept waiting up to 9:30 in the morning when the investigating officers, led by Mr. Sang, in the company of Mr. Njeru, we took a record 15 minutes to respond to the issues that they wanted us to respond to. And from around 10 o'clock up to now, we have just been locked in the boardroom of the DCI officers. So at around 2:30 in the afternoon, they came and they read a cautionary statement against Waziri on the two offenses, one under Section 317 of the Penal Code and another one under Section 23 of the Cyber Crimes Act. And then they told us they have not made up their mind whether there is any offenses disclosed. So we have had the CS released, and they have said if at all they'll require him, they will let us know. I want to state as a senior counsel and as somebody who has lived in this country for many years that since the times of James Gishuru, the first interior CS, I've never seen a CS who leaves office and then is summoned by junior officers 4 months after transition. I've never seen a CS other than this one, the son of Omogusi, having police officers sent to his home and having his home broken into by the police. This is the first one since independence. I've also lived in this country and seen many transitions of government. I was here when Moi left office. I was in this country when Kibaki left office. And now I've seen what has happened after Uhuru Kenyatta has left office. We had many people when Kibaki took office who were alleged to be serious criminal suspects, like the late Biwott. But we never saw President Kibaki becoming vindictive and going after people like Biwott. The CS who was in office, then Minister, Sunkuli, he left office in 2002 and he has spent 22 years peacefully in Masai land. Nobody has ever touched Sunkuli. Now he's an MP in parliament. But because some people think Omogusi, we are so useless, they have come after our Dr. Matiang'i. We will not take this kindly as the Omogusi nation. President William Ruto campaigned on the platform that once he takes power, he will unite the country, he will not be vindictive, he will not go after people to harass them, but what we are seeing is different. And we have to state things as they are. We perceive this to be political persecution and harassment of the Omogusi nation. That's what is happening here. Because how come we have never seen people served under Uhuru Kenyatta? CS was not the only minister. If you are talking about the Interior Ministry, we had Honorable Kibisho, who was the PS. Nobody has gone after him. We had DCI Kinoti. We have not seen him being dragged to DCI. We have seen Mutembei. He has not been dragged to DCI. But the son of Omogusi is the one that they are seeking to humiliate. We are telling the president that that's part politics, and that's not the way you run a country. So as the people from the Omogusi nation, as a lawyer, I want to urge the Director of Public Prosecution to remain professional, not to be intimidated by any political forces, and to be true to the oath of office that he took, to ensure that it's not used by anybody to start political persecution of certain individuals. in this country. We want the law to be applied fairly to everybody. That's the point we want to emphasize this afternoon. So,
now with the two.
yes, with?
Okay, can I finish?
Yeah. So I think that's all I want to state for now. We are ready. We are ready and willing to comply with any orders, if at all. Anytime the DCI wants the CS to appear here, we will be ready and willing to appear before the DCI if there are any issues that they need us to clarify. So we re-emphasize that Kenyans know that CS Matiang'i was the most hard-working CS. We know what he did in the education sector. We know what he did in the Interior Ministry. We urge the President of the day to look forward and not to look at his rear mirror. We now want the country to progress. We don't want witch hunt. So I want to invite Senior Counsel Tiende to make a comment, and then I invite my senator from DC, Honorable Nyonka, and then the MP for West Mogrango to speak.
Thank you. I'll be very brief because my colleague Okongo Mogeniesi has covered most areas. Let it just be emphasized first.
Can you just change position?
Oh, okay. Let it be emphasized first that the Honorable Fred Matiang'i was summoned to appear at 9:30, but out of courtesy, he chose to appear earlier at 8 and had requested that they engage earlier because he had other church engagements. And the DCI had indicated that they would accept. So we got here at 8. Unfortunately, we were kept waiting until 9:30. That is when the DCI officials appeared. When they appeared, we thought that they would engage with us as per the summons. The summons was under Section 23 of the Computer and Cybercrimes Act. But when they started the engagement, we realized they were on a fishing expedition. They were not asking questions about Section 23 or about what was contained in the summons. They were asking Dr. Matiang'i everything about his life, where he lives, what property he has, what farming he has, and other things. So when we realized that they were on a fishing expedition, our client invoked his right under Article 49 not to respond to those questions that were not relevant to the summons. And therefore that engagement took all of just 15 minutes. So from 9:45, we asked them if therefore we could leave, and they told us we hold on. Essentially, we were held in those offices from 9:45 to just about now 5:15 for slightly over 9 hours. Essentially, the DCI detained Dr. Matiang'i and us as the lawyers for those many hours because we do not have the leave to leave. It is only much later that then now they came with the cautionary statements charging our client, saying they intend to charge him under Section 23 of the Computer Cybercrimes Act and Section 317 of the Penal Code. Let the point be made here, and we made it to them, that is clear that this was not a criminal investigation. This was vendetta and witch hunt. It is also clear that the DCI were not acting of their own motion. It is clear that they were awaiting instructions on what to do with Dr. Matiang'i. That is very clear to us, and we told them as much. Anyway, be it as it may, and this is my last point, we have now been held here with Dr. Matiang'i for all of 9 hours. Dr. Matiang'i, as a long-serving minister in various dockets, but lastly in Interior, ought not to be treated the way they have treated him. He had been subjected to inhuman and degrading treatment of a person of his stature. Let this government know that when you think you are mistreating Dr. Matiang'i as a person, you are actually not mistreating him. You are lowering the standing of the office he held. And you are lowering the standing of our country, even in the eyes of foreigners. And you are therefore demonstrating to everyone that we are not a stable democracy. We are going towards a banana republic, and that will come to bite the very people who are trying to meet that on Dr. Matiang'i. Thank you very much.
Naam, bila shaka mpenzi mtazamaji, hiyo tumekuwa na picha za moja kwa moja kutoka makao makuu ya idara ya upelelezi ukipenda DCI kwenye barabara kuu ya Kiambu pale, ambapo tunaona kikosi kizima wafuasi ambao ni wa waziri wa zamani Daktari Fred Matiang'i pale wakiwahutubia wanahabari kuhusiana na baadhi ya matukio yanayozingira kujisalimisha kwake ama kujiwasilisha kwake katika idara hiyo ya upelelezi, kuhojiwa kuhusiana na baadhi ya matukio yanayozingira pengine tarehe 8 mwezi wa Februari mwaka huu, ambapo tuliona madai kwamba pale kwa Matiang'i kulikuwa kumevamiwa na baadhi ya maafisa wa polisi. Mwanahabari mwenzangu David Mudhoka yuko maeneo yale na bila shaka atakuwa anatueleza kwa kina pengine baadaye ni yapi yatakayokuwa yakijiri kuhusiana na taarifa hiyo. Hapa kwenye taarifa zetu za mbiu ya KTN tungali na mengi ambayo tumekuandalia. Kwa sasa nataka tuchukue mapumziko mafupi alafu tunarejea.